Hi, it's Lenneke from Len's Crafty Life, and this is actually not a hat that I made. It's a little hat, and I'll tell you about it. This is an example of what I made, which I'll show you later. But this is actually for a VR for Debbie Browne. She has two challenges going on. One is just her own challenge, which was the birthday challenge, which is still the end of April. But this is about the hat challenge. Shaz from Crafted Season started a challenge, kind of like a series that it's supposed to continue. She started it in January, and the winner, she asked us to alter a boot, and I didn't participate in that one because I didn't have a boot to alter, but it was really nice challenge, and the winner of the challenge then goes on to decide for the next thing to be altered in the next month, or the next thing to be made in the next month. So you don't have to send it in, and you don't win a prize or anything, but yeah, if you win, you decide on the item to be altered or made for the next month, which is really nice. And Debbie Browne won last month's draw, which was done by Dawn Marie from Uniquely Yours by Dawn Marie, and Debbie now wanted us to alter a hat. Well, first she said a fan, and then decided on nobody probably has a fan. And I said, well, I do have a fan, but I don't have hats. Can I still do the fan? And she said, yes, that's fine. And then, of course, when I went through my stash to get the fan, these little hats were on top. So I thought, well, I do have a hat after all. So I'll alter the hat instead. So this is the red one, which I still need to alter. I did not make this myself. I bought it like this and I want to alter it, make it shabby chic. But I had one in a very bright purple. And this is the purple one. Or at least this is what I made of it. So let me just put this aside. So basically what I did, I wanted to get this all off, and it was so stuck on so well that I didn't manage to take it all off. So I pulled out the feathers and I cut this tulle that was on that one as well. I cut it off, and then I was left with the rosette. So I went over the rosette about 3 times with gesso, and it went from a bright purple to a lilac, but you could still see the lilac through. So let me tell you what I did. So I gessoed the hat first about 3 times, and it still looked like a lilac-y. It didn't go white. So I decided I needed to have, or to use, some really solid fabric. First I wanted to use some shiny see-through fabric, but that was not going to work because I didn't want to see the purple. And I have this stash of bridal gown wedding dress material. Bridal gown wedding dress material. Well, I think you get what I mean. Which I actually, this is a tip for you, all you ladies out here who like to work with wedding dress material. I got bags full with wedding dress offcuts of wedding dress material in the time that I lived in the UK, which is about 15 years ago. Somebody gave me the tip, go to a bridal gown or a bride's gown shop and ask them if you can have the offcuts. So I went to this shop and they did ask me, what do you want to use it for? And I said it was just for myself, for my own crafts. And then they were fine with it, and they gave me literally bags full. I went there twice, bags full with offcuts. Now I didn't have the space to store it all, so I diminished it to just one bag with the most pretty bridal gown material, and I got it for free. So this was 15 years ago in the UK. They were very kind to me, so it's a tip. Just go ahead, give it a try if there's a shop like that in your area. So anyway, that's what I covered it with. I won't go into the whole details of how I did that. I had no idea how I was going to do it, but I think it turned out quite alright. And I also covered the bottom. Now the bottom actually is hollow, and so I kept it hollow below this doily. This doily I only put on with 1 dot of glue because I think what I want to do is take this off, make a little slit here because it's still hollow beneath it, and kind of alter a little candlestick and put it on it like it is a hat, on a hat stand. That's what I want to do, all in the shabby chic style, of course. So that's why I didn't put the doily on totally properly, just like that. So here you can still see the gesso on the clip. The clip still works, so you can still clip it onto something. I went around the edge, like on these old-fashioned hats, you see like this veil that I have in the front, so I wanted to imitate that, and I had this lovely trim with these tiny little roses that I put on. I put on the same trim also around here. You can hardly see it, but in the middle of these rosettes I put on these little roses, and I just love the color on these. Hope that's in focus. It's a very, well, creamy with a very pale pink in the middle, and maybe you can see here a bit like the lace trim. So that's how they are spaced. It's like, you know, in between these, in the middle of these rosettes. So that's what I did all the way around, which I think look very pretty. And then on the back I had this trim. It's like a leaf trim that I got from my youngest daughter recently, and I just cut off 3 leaves. So instead of the feather that was on top of it, I have like these leaves dangling down. And then this rosette that I did not manage to take off, I went over it with gesso 3 times. You could still see the colors, like the black and a bright purple through it. So then, be it, you know, a lot diminished in color. So then I took this trim as well, and I went all the way around, starting in the middle of the rosette and then gluing it down all the way around here and following the shape of the rosette just to cover up the rosette. And I think I managed quite well, because you can't see the purple and the black anymore, which is great. Then I put in, actually in the back, this little cameo. It's like almost like a button shape, so I had to make a little hole in the middle of the rosette and glued it in. Then I went like this, and then I went to my daughter and asked her, is this finished? And she said, well, it's absolutely pretty, thank you very much, I'll keep it, but the cameo needs to be the same color as the roses. That's what she said. And I thought, well, actually I agree. So I went over the cameo again with gesso, and then I went over the image of the cameo with this paint, Fade Resistance Dye Ink Memento Angel Pink from Dewdrop. And then I also covered up like the silvery edge that's on there. So then I thought, well, I wanted to put some glitter on it anyway. Now you can hardly see there's a cameo there. So I had this tiny little bling trim, and I decided to go around it with that. So the cameo really stands out now, and I absolutely love it. The only thing I think now, should I put a little pink on this or not? Is it too white? Let me know what you think. So I absolutely love it. I think it turned out so pretty. And I think it will look stunning if I find a proper like candle holder to make it stand, and then, you know, put it on an angle like as a little hat stand. So I'm very pleased with that. So thank you, Debbie, for this subject, altering a hat. I absolutely love it. Still have to do this one, but I'll do that some other time. And thanks everybody for watching. See you next time. Bye bye. Oops, sorry about that.